in Ebensburg, Pennsylvania, at a prison.
Okay, because this was filled up.
There's supposedly a ghost haunted in this room.
This part here cost $73,000 to build. And imagine that back. But I mean, it was built very, very well erected. Funny going into this story here. There was certain inmates. There was a Jacob Hauser that in one of the executions he chopped his wife up with a machete and his mother-in-law. And they brought him in here, and he was one of the only ones. They did 2 hangings that day. They only had 400 tickets available, and I mean, they almost fought over those tickets. 400 people were allowed to go into the yard and watch the hanging. They actually executed 2 of them that day. And this cell here, you always hear the story about old Smitty. This was the cell he was in, okay? And when that guards came to get him the day of his execution, he was gone. And there's a lot of speculation on that. Well, I was contacted by a company, Paranormal Lockdown. Rob Safari was the director, and they said that they were going to come in here. They were one of the only companies that really came in here and researched this. They were qualified. They had all the equipment. You had different people walk through, but they came in here, and it was real. I was blown away what they knew about this institution. I was totally blown away. They sent a research firm in. They knew things about this prison I didn't even know. They had blueprints. I mean, they were very, very thorough. Then I met Nick Groff and Katrina Weidman and Rob Safari, and we walked through, and I started telling them about some of my experiences working here. And that was the thing. They said, well, we really would like you to be on the shoot with us. And they said, one question they had, if we come in here, are we going to encounter anything? I told them, you come in here after 11 o'clock, I'll bet a year's pay you will encounter. Because, I mean, there's so much paranormal activity in here. All my years, I worked in here 16 years, I only ever once seen somebody appear as like a ghost in human form. We were working a shift, 3 of us, we went out to the front there. The captain was in, and there was a deputy warden. My brother and I, there was a kid named Chuck Malloy. He went off to work in a federal prison, and since then he's retired. And Dean Gettings from Ebensburg was a captain. He was at the front gate. And we were standing there, and this wall at the time wasn't here. You could actually look all the way back and look into the bullpen. Well, anyway, and you can see a window way up top there. The warden used to have to live in the facility. That big square board up there, the warden, that window was open. It was barred. And he could actually look through and look into the back of that facility. But to make it, the captain said to us, he said, I thought you said the prison was locked down. We said, yeah, we just did a count. Everybody's accounted for. He said, who's standing at the top of the bullpen? And we turned around, and 5 of us, there was clearly a guy standing up inside the bullpen, looking down, and we could see him as clear as day as I'm standing there. And I yelled back, I said, whatever, don't you move. And I ran up through the catwalks, and my brother ran down through the middle here until I got to the top of the catwalk, and halfway down, he was gone. But that was the only person I ever seen, any ghost I ever seen in 16 years. But I guarantee I heard them. If I were coming down back here at night, you'd hear people walking above you. You'd stop and you'd be out there shining a light. And I mean, it was just, we had officers in here that wouldn't go down in the dining area to get a sandwich on third shift. If they weren't with somebody, they wouldn't go. I mean, it was, and the dungeon was a place that, hey, I've done a lot of things. I've taught martial arts 37 years. I'm a firearms instructor. I mean, everything. And I'm going to tell you what, I won't come in here and go down in that dungeon after midnight. I mean, I came in one night, I was making an outside check. I was the only guy on, myself, and there was a deputy warden. We had 2 other officers called off. And making my outside check, I was coming in, and the deputy said to me, he said, Dorsey, I heard screaming coming out of that dungeon. He said, like there's something going on. Somebody was getting killed down. He said, maybe you better go down and check it out. I'm thinking, you know what? I said, Henry, everybody's locked down. I said, the whole place is locked down. I said, there's nobody housed down there. I said, there's really no reason for me to go down there. Why don't we just wait till daylight comes in and we'll get a couple of us and we'll go down. I said, but if you want to go down, I says, here, I'll hold your keys. You can go head down and check it out. He was looking at me. He said, you know what? You're right. He said, we'll just wait till daylight comes in. I mean, I wasn't going to get down there. I don't care. I mean, I know I worked here long enough that there is paranormal activity here. But you're going to think when Paranormal Law, when they came in here, that's what they asked me. They said, are we going to encounter anything? Well, They weren't in the building not even 30 minutes, and doors were slamming. In fact, I even took a group through Thursday night, some of my family members, and we were going through. We came in at night, and we heard doors slamming behind us. And so, I mean, usually at night is when this place comes alive. During the day, first and second shift, there was so much activity. Inmates moving to lunch, moving to doctor line, different things. And the movement, people going to court, you really never noticed it. If it was there, you never noticed it. But when third shift, when everything was locked down, that's when you really started noticing, you know, the noises and screams and different things. Nick Groff, actually his first night, he stayed up on the landing up above there. Youths are going to come out there. Katrina Weidman stayed in the women's ward. Now, I had a lot of women. The women complained more than anybody in here. They just kept saying that this place is so haunted. They would hear things running down the middle of their dorm at night, and they complained the most. They even went over to court and complained over there about, you know, the people running down there, you know. But it was an experience with them. And then the second night, I know they were making contact up there, and there was talk like seventh tier. Well, the second night is when Nick Groff stayed down in the dungeon. He went down there and he stayed down here, and Katrina stayed in this cell right here. They wanted to split up because when they split up, and they had this place wired, they had cameras, motion detectors. I don't know, I'm not much into that stuff. I don't know what all that equipment is, but they had a lot. I mean, a lot. So it was really something. And they feel, when it was all done, they feel that they made contact with Mickey Smith, and they believe that Mickey Smith was killed in the dungeon. And if you think about it once, number one, nobody's going to escape out of here. There's no, I mean, unless the officers were in on it. The whole staff would have been in on it. They'd have had to open up the door, let them out, and open up the front door and just let them go. See, that's the first thing you have to realize. He didn't escape. He didn't dig his way out. That's number one. Number two, he was never seen again. Everything we looked at, he was never seen again. Mickey Smith had a peg leg. He had no money, nothing like that, and there was no that he was ever seen again. Now, he killed a prominent businessman in Johnstown. Thinking of his name right now.
John Minahan.
John Minahan. Lucky somebody. Yeah, he killed John Minahan in Johnstown. And the thing you got to think about, what was Mickey Smith going to say when he went up on the gallows? That's the thing that people think about. Was he running his mouth in here? Was he said he's going to say something? It's all speculation. Nobody will never know. That's the mystery of it. And it's been talk in Cameron County forever. Everybody knows that Mickey Smith. No matter who you mention to, they all know him. They joke about it everywhere I go. But I mean, you think about. I have to really believe that. I don't believe he ever left this place. I don't. I think he's here and he's still here. And whatever the reason was or whatever. But I don't believe he ever left, because it's. Looking in Alcatraz when them three people got out. They went into that cold water. They made makeshift rafts and everything. Well, they're fish bait. That's all, because none of them three were never seen again. And you don't break jail and just disappear. It doesn't happen. They find you, you're brought back. You can't name a case where they would break jail and get away, because somebody's going to have to keep you. They're going to have to, somebody's going to have to put you up. And, the long arm of the law, they're looking for you. And especially in that case, they would have been looking for Mickey Smith, because just the person that he killed.
How old was he?
I don't know. He wasn't a young guy, put it that way. I'm not sure what his age was. Okay. Now, what we're going to do next, this next section was added on in 1910. We're going to let you go through into that, and I'll get the next group in. That was state-of-the-art in the day. It was another spot that was added on here. And that bullpen, we called it, it was escape-proof. I mean, you just weren't going to get out of there. Okay, and most of the inmates that were housed in there, now we used that when I worked here. That was our main housing unit. There was only a couple of ones that we used as cells in this section. Most of them we made different rooms, storage, different things like that. But that was our main housing unit, and we used the two dorms up above. We had a lot of inmates that were housed in them dormitories up above, like pre-release, people that, weren't minor sentences, but most of our inmates were kept back there. And it was I just don't want to go into too much of my experiences. We want to stick more to the prison itself, because that's what you're here to see. Okay, let's go ahead through that door. You just can form up in front of the bullpen. Then we're going to close that door off. and I'm going to get another group in.
Can we get out?
Yeah, we'll let you back out.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. You take pictures, whatever. Thank you.
Gosh. Okay, so this is the bullpen officially.
Here's the new inmates. There's lots of room, lots of cells to fill, so that's a good thing you guys are here.
Here's the whole
And they never got out.
Holy
No, there's nothing to be scared of. Look, it's light. There's nothing to be scared of.
Yeah.
holy
The
crap.
ghosts are only here at night, honey. And we're in the day, so you'll be all right, Eli.
Holy crap. What? Let me just get a look at the size. Holy crap.
I do too. I watch it all the
This is
time.
incredible.
We went to Gettysburg.
Talk to two guys.
You're one of them.
Camera for a sec. Look how high that goes up.
A system in place where one officer can lock every cell instantaneously. They've since removed the bar, but you can see the brackets are still in place there. One inmate could slide the bar across and lock every cell all at once. So that was truly state of the art. You can see the architecture is a lot different from over there. And it's funny, if you look on some of these bars, it actually says Johnstown Steelworks. So all the bars were made in Johnstown. But what we're going to do right now, we are going to walk all the way up top. So you guys, and while we're walking up, feel free to explore. You can go down the ranges, look in the cells and everything. And then we're going to walk across the catwalk up there, go back into the old section of the prison, and then my dad's going to take you guys down to the dungeon.
Alright, dungeon coming up soon. So let's explore.
Trey, I'm going to hold on to you only because I don't want to get separated from you, okay?
Like I said, feel free to explore.
Do whatever you need to do,
Walk
okay?
the steps.
Honey,
Okay. Sorry, I have to
I just don't
cover
want to get
this.
separated from
Just
you.
for safety reasons. Okay.
Sorry.
To walk up this slowly.
Steve. Oh, you want to go down?
That definitely has asbestos on it.
Holy crap. Alright.
You can show Happy this.
Yeah.
Happy wouldn't be able to do this because he can't walk up all these steps.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, that
What's
one's
down there, honey?
that's scary. I don't know, and I'm not wanting to find out. Just take a look down there. That's scary.
Maybe you want to go to the end over there and see
When did they
what's
stop
over there?
doing like tours all the time here?
Was there only like one person in each one of these?
There was a time, my dad
Really?
Yes. Could you imagine?
I'm gonna take a quick walk inside of the sun. Wow. This is just.
Do you want me to? Want me to put
No,
your phone
no.
while you go inside so you can be in there?
Alrighty. This is a basic cell. I felt unstable. This is incredible. I absolutely love this stuff. So I'm just mine.
You love it? Would you like to always be in there?
Oh, heck no.
Heck no.
This place used to house the records, so you can come in and read really. It's closed down now. So this is the only day in the year you can get here.
That's why I stayed.
There's only one set of keys.
It's gonna take a. Oh my, that's.
This side is haunted as the other.
So I am definitely more of a skeptic than my uncle and my dad, but they claim that when they saw the
guy over here.
yeah, right, apparently he was kind of looking like that. So. But that side over there is obviously the north side. And I would say that the prisoners were definitely treated a lot worse over there because they didn't have any standards in place. And where we're going to go after this is to the dungeon. There's literally the dungeon under the warden's office. And you know, back in the day, they didn't know that paranoid schizophrenics were. They didn't understand mental illness. So if you're having a convulsion before, they figured it was possessed by the devil. So they'll throw you into the dungeon down there, and they would just leave you to rot, basically. So you're going to see that.
Yeah. Oh, dang.